What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Corner Office, where Ruhan and I sit down with Philadelphia's leading entrepreneurs and executives.
Today we're sitting down with Diana Liberto, CEO and founder of WalkMyMind. We're going to hear some tips on how you can lead a more mindful, healthy life at your office. Enjoy this one, guys.
Diana, thank you so much for coming on The Corner Office. So I was on the beach last week, and I was on vacation. Ruhan texted me, Matt, you're going to be doing this episode with Diana Liberto. Look her up online. I looked you up. Within 5 minutes, I think I was texting Ruhan. I am so pumped to do this episode. Ruhan and I are so excited to have you on.
Thank you.
So your story is very unique to me. You were a corporate lawyer at Walmart for 11 years, right?
Yep.
Before starting WalkMyMind?
Yes.
Where did you find the energy to start your own business further on in your career?
Well, I think the business itself, the business idea is what gave me the energy. I didn't say this is something I wanted to do. It was something that hit me. You know, when that happens, it's a runaway train. You know.
And what was that moment like when it hit you?
I was on the beach. Where were you?
There you go.
Where
on
were
the
you on
beach.
the beach?
I was in Seattle City.
Okay, I was in Longport.
Okay.
And I had had a very terrible year, horrible in terms of family, terrible stuff. And I hired somebody to take me for a walk on the beach because I couldn't even walk. I was so depressed, I couldn't do anything. And we're walking, and we're talking, and it felt good. And I asked her to come back the next day, and she came back the next day. And while I was walking on the beach again, an idea hit me that, you know, I could have afforded to get somebody to go for this walk with me, but a lot of people can't, and it's so good for you. It feels good.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it? Isn't it incredible? And how could we get more people to understand that if they stood up and started walking, things would get better for them?
Absolutely.
Could get better, let's put it that way.
Okay.
So
Great
that's how it
answer.
started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a large part of our audience is salespeople and entrepreneurs. I read that you had an opportunity to present and pitch in front of several investors throughout your career.
Hi, investors.
What is your mindset when you walk into that room to get ready to pitch?
So, that's going to sound a little crazy, but like I have all these Lucky Charms and I stick them in my handbag and I make sure
No
I have
way.
all of them. I swear to God. I'm like, okay, do I have the seashell? Do I have the angel?
You gotta have
like
them all.
plastic? You know, do I have all the stuff? Okay, I got all that. And then I sing some songs in my head like Rocky.
Okay.
Because being from Philly, you do the Rocky. That's what I used to do before law school exams too. I do Rocky.
Get pumped up for the
Right,
test.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would do all that. So I do Rocky. I could be like in the cab in New York doing Rocky, right? I mean, I did all that, and I would just, you know, I believe in what I'm doing. So that makes it a lot easier when you actually really believe in it. And I'd go in. And I would be talking to them. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. This is so cool. And
You were
sometimes-
passionate.
Yeah, and sometimes
Yeah.
they're like. Sometimes they were into it, they get it, they would have ideas, you know, would start percolating among them. Like, maybe you could do this, and maybe you could do that, it would be cool. And then I get really excited, like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. This is really happening. I'd be like hitting my little Lucky Charms. Oh yeah.
They're working.
It's working.
They're working.
It's working. But then like you'd get the email, yeah, we thought about it, and maybe, you know, we're not gonna do it.
Okay.
Or I got one, we're doing it. Oh my God, I'm screaming. We're gonna do this, how much money, here's all the papers, I'm signing everything, going back and forth. And then I get an email that said, well, you know what? We just want you to get like, you know, a gazillion people on the platform first.
Okay.
Well, isn't that like the Wicked Witch of the West? You get all the way to Oz, and then they say, oh, you're here, but haha, go get me the broom. If I could have gotten
Got
a
it.
broom, I could have ridden that home. I didn't need to get to Oz.
You don't
to
need
talk
the
to
investors,
you,
yeah.
Right? And that's what it was like.
So you got a lot of no's then, right?
Oh my gosh.
How did you keep going when you got those no's?
I believe in what I'm doing. I figured that, okay, maybe it's not the thing for this particular group or that particular group. Maybe they're not getting it. I still, you know, sometimes struggle to articulate it. And at that point, I also, and I think this is important for the people out there who maybe want to do this thing, is I inverted what it meant for proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought proof of concept meant you go and you tell them your concept,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if they're really eager about it, then you've got the proof of concept, and you go to the companies that you want to sell to. If the companies say, yeah, we would buy this, then you have proof of concept. So you go to investors, say, I have all these companies, even letters, who said they would buy it. But that's really not what they wanted. They wanted me to actually build it,
Got it.
get people actually using it,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's proof of concept. So I wasted not only a lot of time, but I wasted a ton of money going to investors too soon, going to companies too soon, developing marketing materials.
So build it first and then bring it to the
Right,
investors.
and build the most minimum thing, and then they'll be okay with it. But you have to
Okay.
get people to be able to use it too. The
Got
first one I built was so minimal that it really didn't operate properly. And then, is that proof of concept? No, that's proof that whatever I built was junk. So,
Got it. Now, I think a lot of the people watching this video are probably sitting at their desks at their office. I know Ruhan and I are always at our desk making our cold calls, right? Who's probably cold calling you? What are 3 things that people could do while at the office to lead a healthier life?
well, they can convince their higher-ups to get them walk my mind. Because what my
Take some notes, Ruhan.
what my thing does, honestly, is enable you to walk around while you're still working, because your company is able to put communications, put compliance, put whatever is important to the company in the brand box, and you can listen to that while you're walking. So that, number one, is really healthy. Walking is healthy. If you can walk and work, that's super healthy. And then we gamify it on top of that. So, we make challenges out of walking and listening. So if you could walk and listen and work, who gamifies work? We do. That's cool.
Very cool.
And so that's one thing.
Okay.
I think what you eat is so important. I always had like that 3 o'clock. I have to have M&Ms with peanuts, and I have to
Go
have,
into the snack drawer, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you have to really watch that thing. That's a bad thing. And I think it's because you're bored and you've been sitting there all day. And you want your M&Ms and you want your coffee and all the bad stuff. So if you get up and you do more movement and you exercise more, you actually want less bad food.
Got it. Okay.
And I think the third thing is probably trying to relax.
Well,
So I
work's
think
stressful.
It's very stressful. And when you get that adrenaline going, then you get that buzz in your head. You're not productive anyway. And maybe if you can tell yourself that, look, I'm getting myself so worked up that I'm not actually going to be good at what I'm doing anyway, and take the time to breathe. If you have to get up, walk around, do it, bring yourself back so you can do your thing.
Our favorite part of the show, so we allow our guests to provide and propose a question of the day for our audience. What will your question of the day be?
So I would ask people what's holding them back. There's
great
something
question.
they want to do, what's holding them back?
You know what's funny about that question? Me and Ruhan were driving to this interview today, and we were role-playing this exercise, and that's the exact same question that I gave Ruhan in
Really?
the car.
Really?
Exactly.
I mean, it's such a critical question.
It is.
It takes a lot of self-examination.
But thank you so much for
Thank
coming on
you.
the Corner Office. Where can our audience connect with you online and follow you?
WalkMyMind.com.
Perfect.